And I was just thinking about this, and I kind of wanted to start with something that was some connected to my childhood, but something Irish. And because I've mentioned Nirvana a few times, I wanted to maybe talk about Sinead O'Connor's cover of All Apologies.
Mm.
And I also recently watched the movie Queer, and that's on the soundtrack. And I just it's just so beautiful, you know. If anyone could do a cover version of Sinead O'Connor, and I just think that's such a I think two of her best cover versions are her cover version of All Apologies and maybe her cover version of Sacrifice by Elton John.
Yeah.
And I just absolutely love Sinead's voice. Obviously, her own music is great, but I wanted to kind of keep it a little bit Irish while it's also, you know, reflecting on some of my favourite bands. I did mention Lancome as well, you know, and I think songs like The Granite Gaze, like dark folk, but doom folk, I suppose, is what they call it. But it's a very vivid picture of, you know, modern Irish life. And I think, and, you know, Rady Pete's unmistakable voice delivering that is just, it really gets under your skin. And the first time I heard that song, I think it still affects me the same now when I listen to it. It just, the hairs on my neck just stand up. But it's a hyper realistic kind of, you know, portrayal of Irish life. And I think I really admire that. I really think that's artistic integrity. And then, yeah, another track I was thinking of, I'm actually putting on an event in Whelan's on the 21st of September to honour the late and great Marianne Faithfull.
No.
We're going to have a load of Irish artists do cover versions of Marianne songs in celebration of her life and career, and in hope as well to raise money for Merchants Quay Ireland, who are doing amazing work in Dublin city centre. So
I agree with you there. Yeah, they do great work.
They do great work, absolutely, and they're always crying out for funding. So if anybody wants to donate, please do. But yeah, I've been going through Marianne's back catalogue, and it's something I've listened to quite a lot, extensively. I would also kind of tie it in with my recovery journey as well. I listened to Broken English quite a lot.
And she lived here long, didn't she? She lived here for a few years in Ireland.
She did, in the Curragh, wasn't it?
Somewhere there.
Shallot Cottage, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember. But she did an album before she passed away there with Nick Cave, and there's a song on that called They Come at Night, and like it's quite a rock song, you know, but it's sort of about how, you know, the rise of fascism and how it kind of comes back to haunt us, you know, through history, that history repeats itself, and it serves as a warning. So that was another track that I was going to play because I feel it kind of sits well with the global mood. And then I think after that, then I was just thinking, actually, listening to the show you did with Deb Grant. I was listening to her on BBC Six Music recently. She was covering The Breakfast Show, and she did, you know, that they have that cloud bursting segment they do where they play loads of uplifting songs. One song that's always stayed with me and really, really boosts my mood is a track called You Can Have It All by Yola Tango.
Oh, Yola Tango, yeah.
I actually go to that all the time whenever I feel down, and it just lifts me up. You know, I've played it in situations where there's other people there, and people were like, "Really, this cheers you up?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it does. It really, really boosts my mood." So they're just some of the tracks that I've listed here. I think the last one then is just was tracked by Whipping Boy called Twinkle. I'm actually friends with Fergal McKee. He lives in Ballinamore, and I met him and his partner Sonia some years ago, and we formed a good friendship. Sadly, Sonia passed away last year unexpectedly, which was a huge shock to all of us. But the track Twinkle from their album Heartworm, the opening track, was written about Sonia, and I've been going to that a lot since she passed away because we were very close. And it's so nice that there's a piece of music, you know, about somebody that you loved and respected so much, and such a great song. You know, it's a testament to Fergal's writing and, of course, his kind of bard style delivery. Yeah. But it's a special thing to have, so I hold that one very, very close to my chest.
And having travelled around, you will see that we deal as Irish people, death, we deal with it in a very special way, very different to the way other people address death, don't we, in funerals. It's a cultural thing.
Like someone once said to me, was it a good Irish funeral to kill a man? That was pretty funny, you know.
That's a great way of putting it. Yeah.
Like in saying that now, I've been to a few funerals recently, unfortunately, and I kind of just have to, I go and pay my respects and leave. I don't really have to avoid the whole drinking culture of it because, you know, it just brings the mood down for me.
Yeah, I'm
anyway,
saying
so I have
apart from the drink, we I don't know if we confront it with a big C or a little C. We don't shy away from the whole the removal, the funeral, the afters. Whereas in Spain or Latin countries, it's all over within a day. There's no kind of mourning period.
Yeah, and I think that the period's important.
It is
God,
important.
it's very important.
We take it for granted, is my point, but other people don't.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I think we do as well. It's very, it's different as well. As well, in like in the UK, if somebody passed away, there could be like a week and stuff there where there's nothing happens, and then I kind of like the way we do it in Ireland. It's sort of nicely paced, and gives you the time you need to kind of engage with everybody else that's there, and there's a lot of storytelling, which is like comes with an Irish funeral as well. So
and those memories
like
and
that.
chats, And then we look back at your life, and if you were to reflect and see where you are now, and what advice would you give to the younger Dwayne about where you are now, and looking back? Would you done anything different?
Yeah, like I would definitely say, watch your drinking. But apart from that, I think I've kind of allowed other people or other situations in life that influence my path into the music industry. Like I really wanted to be a radio broadcaster, for example, but somehow now I work in a completely different sector. And but I missed that, and I feel that was a missed opportunity, and I would love to get back to it someday. So I think I would just probably go back and tell myself that to not be so influenced by external forces, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but life is difficult. I mean, John Lennon said it, life is what happens when you're planning to do something else. That's the way it goes.
Sure. I think that's the truth, yeah.
Yeah, we have a plan, something happens along the way, and we get distracted and always say, must get back, and for some reason we don't.
Well, yeah, this is it. But this is evident, like for me all the time, and I always find when I could be putting my energy into one thing and another thing will materialize through that unexpectedly. And, I think it's an ADHD thing as well, where I will, I try and do so many things at once then, and I get kind of confused and all of that. So it's very hard to kind of stay on one path for me. I try and do 100 million things at once as well. So maybe, just taking a breath and taking every day as it comes as well,
And is there a go-to quote you have in your head that guides you?
The go-to quote, yeah, absolutely. This is a quote, it's an Alexander Pope quote, but it's actually from my favourite film. I'll read it to you now. The quote goes, "How happy is the blameless vestal's lot, the world forgetting, by the world forgot. Eternal sunshine of the spotless mind, each prayer accepted and each wish resigned." That's from the poem Eloisa to Abelard by Alexander Pope, and it's from the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Dwayne Woods, thank you so much for joining me on Iron